afternoon. Um, past few days, I've been trying to, keep my head up and not lose hope. But that's one thing I want to address is I cannot stand fake woke people. And I'm gonna discuss this because you got a lot of people who like to project themselves in a certain way, especially with their life and where they're at. They like to live in like false reality. And when you talk about real issues that are at play here, when you talk about like things that really matter to you, a lot of these fake woke people will come around, try to dismiss everything you talk about, say little things like you need to think more positive, you need to have more confidence, you need to this whole like secret where whatever you think is what you attract. And I have an issue with these people because a lot of times what these people will do is that they will profit off of other people's struggles and depression. They'll use this fake woke persona, talk about how they have changed their life and create a new life for themselves. But what they do is they sell these books to people who don't realize that they're being scammed and they're being manipulated into buying into some type of philosophy. And that's the reason why I have a problem with fake woke people, because you got a lot of people who come around you and tell you, oh, you're the problem, that you need to change something about yourself in order to live a better life. And it's deeper than just, oh, you got to think more positive. It's deeper than, oh, you have more confidence. There's so much different factors that come into play when you discuss issues you're dealing with on a daily basis. People tend to just brush you off when you talk about real life issues. When you talk about just the dating scene nowadays and how screwed up the dating scene is, it's like this is a reality that we have to face, especially now with social media. Women have access to so much different options. The guys that can reach out to them in so many different ways. So women never feel like they have lack anything. As a man, you gotta be on your A game. You gotta be almost picture perfect. And then a woman could judge you based off of certain factors that you can't control, like your height, what race you're born into, your socioeconomic background, like certain things that it's just like you can't necessarily control. Like there's certain things you can improve, but when you're getting judged by someone based on your height and your even your ethnicity and where you're from, these are real life issues, and it has nothing to do with how highly you think of yourself. It's a reality that is going on. It's that you got a lot of these fake woke people and they don't want to address the real issue. What they want to do is tell you you need to think more highly of yourself. You need to stop being negative. You're the reason why the problem. You're the cause of your own problem. And you as these so-called PUAs would say, you need to participate in your own rescue. And the definition of insanity do the same thing over and over again. If we live in a world where it's like people do judge each other, people do put you in a certain box, and then if you don't fit into a certain stereotype, if you don't fulfill certain quota, people are gonna alienate you. They're gonna treat you like an outcast, and it has nothing to do with how positive you feel and how much you think. It really is based on what others judge you and what preconceived notions they form about you. Because there's a saying that a woman knows within the first 5 seconds if she wants to sleep with you. She don't even have to even talk to you. She instantly know if you're the type of guy that she wants to she desires sexually. And if you're a type of guy that's undesirable, and even if you're an average looking dude and you got to prove yourself to a woman and you have to constantly try to show that you're a good match for her, it's like you're fighting a uphill battle because the dating scene now is screwed in the favor of the woman. The woman have options. She could choose what type of guy she wants to deal with, and gone are the days where people really talk to each other to know each other. People, I mean, in terms of how people interact with each other, it's really superficial and it's really not based off of anything real anymore. So the dating scene is all screwed up. Everything is out of whack. It's not where it used to be. And one thing I can't stand about these fake woke people is that they are living in a fantasy world because they were either born with good genetics, you know. A lot of them have the height, they have the looks, they have the status, they have things that were given to them, right? They were just blessed with these traits that allow them to make friends, meet people, live a successful, productive life. So it's easy for them to stand on the sideline. It's easy for them to judge from a distance and say, "Oh, that you need to be more positive. You need to think more highly of yourself." You know, and they don't want to tell you. You don't want to be realistic. They don't want to tell you the truth. They rather gaslight you and you know, shoot you up with a bunch of fake narrative that you are the reason why you have your own problems. And we all have our own problems that we have to deal with. It's a part of life. But to say that there's no other factors involved that cause you to feel the way you do is it's really absurd to me. We are in a world that is very wicked. We in a world that where racism is still alive and well. We live in a world where there's people who constantly trying to bring you down. You come across certain people you don't even know them, and they automatically look down on you. They judging you. They seen the negative in you. This is the type of world we live in. We don't live in this like sunshine and rainbow type of world. Like a lot of these fake woke people will make you believe that this world is sunshine and rainbows. It's like a very happy place, an innocent place, and the reality is that this world is wicked. It's full. It's full with a lot of evil people. It's full with a lot of people that are envious of you. People who like to secretly compete against you. It's full with a lot of narcissistic people, and a lot of these women that you come across with, they are very full of themselves and narcissistic. And you could come with them and be yourself. You know how they like to say, these fake woke people will say, "Oh, just be yourself. Just go out there and just be yourself." But when you be yourself and try to interact with these women, they judge you because of what they see from the outside, and they expect you to be somebody that you're not. You got to put on this persona. You got to put on this act in order to persuade them to want to talk to you. So really, the dating scene is very screwed. It's very out of place, and that's one thing I can't stand about fake woke people is that they'll tell you, "Oh, it's you that's the problem," and oh, you need to just put yourself out there. But there's certain things that play into it when it comes on to how people treat you. If people don't find you to be physically attractive, if a woman doesn't find you to be physically attractive, and she doesn't see you as a desirable, like it doesn't matter how highly you think of yourself, how hard you try, how much you try to put yourself out there. If you try to be confident, if you do all this stuff, it's not going to land you anywhere. Because like I said, nowadays women have so many different options. They could select any type of guys that she chooses to deal with, and they put guys in women put guys in categories. And if you're a man that have been rejected a lot and you've been placed in the friend zone, even though you made the attempt to reach out to a woman and actually interact with her, but she doesn't find you to be physically attractive, which means she's not gonna be intimate with you in any way, shape, or form. She'll just use you as an emotional tampon. Then yeah, you realize that the game is rigged. And certain guys don't have to work as hard as you do to get that girl to deal with them. In fact, there are guys who barely put in enough effort into bonding with a woman, and they get pussy like that. So there's no such thing as, oh, it's about you. It's a lot of times it's really certain. It's like it depends on what the woman perceive you as. It depends on how people see you. It depends on how you're being looked at as. Really, it's so many different factors. That's why I can't stand fake woke people. I know I live in the real world, and I see things for what it is. And one thing I try to do is like I try to find ways to improve myself and my quality of life. But I also realize that I live in the real world, and I can't get my hopes up with certain people because people will say one thing and do something completely different, and a lot of people will they will lead you on, and then they will never fulfill any of the stuff they said they were gonna do. So you can't take people by their words. You gotta take them by their actions. You gotta actually test them and see would they actually go through what they said they were gonna do. And you could apply all the different knowledge you learn from reading these books, watching these seminars, or trying to listen to people that try to uplift you, and then you go out there in the world and it doesn't. And the reality tells you something completely different. You could think in your mind, okay, this is what I need to do differently. This is how I need to see this is how I need to look at myself and how I need to approach life. And then when you go out the world and try to do the things you thought you was capable of doing, the reality tells you there's something otherwise. We live in a very evil world, man. That everybody is not the same as you. They don't think the same as you. They live in a complete different world than you. What I see from my lens is not the same what somebody else see from their own lens. In fact, a lot of times they may see things from a very screwed up, very messed up, very filthy lens. And you come across them trying to interact with them, it's like their energy is not gonna match. Have you ever? I go based on what I feel from other people. I go based off their energy. Um, have you ever interact with people and you felt like something was off about that person? You just felt like you was on the defense, like you just have to avoid that person at all costs. That's what I realized when it comes on to deal with people is that a lot of times you come across certain people, you just feel their energy, you sense something's not right about them, and you try to avoid them because it's like you are on the defense, like your instinct just kicks in and it's just telling you something is not right with this person, avoid at all costs. And you're usually you're whatever you deep within is what is true. And even when you come across certain women, you can feel their energy. I sense like a energy of pride in a lot of these women. A lot of these women have a spirit of pride on them. And it's crazy that even women that have hit the wall, a lot of these women who are in their 30s, that have kids out of wedlock, that have even an STD, they may not even have anything to give you, really have anything of value, still think they deserve a high value man, still think they deserve the best that life has to offer, and they think they're better than you. And you got your shit together, you're a single man trying to focus on yourself, and they don't want to even acknowledge you. So it's like there's a spirit of pride that's upon a lot of these modern women where they feel like they can do better than you, and they act like their shit don't stink. So it's the culture. The culture is really what's wrong because what American culture do is like it boosts up these women so much where they feel like they're God's gift on earth, and they think too highly of themselves. And you, as a man, they always tell you you're not good enough. Society likes to beat you down, especially when you're a single man and you refuse to follow what our other social norms are in society. You know, typically what society would do is beat down good quality men because the men who are being praised and looked up as a symbol of respect, someone who women seek, are men that are evil. The men are people who don't have any morals or values. And it just tells me that there's something wrong deep within the culture, and that has nothing to do with how positive you are and how much you think about yourself. It doesn't matter A lot of times when you could be working on yourself and you could do everything to improve your life, and you still struggling, you're still having a hard time, and you just can't figure out why is it that I keep putting all this effort into bettering my life, but yet at the same time I still feel alone. I still feel I can't find anybody. I can't fit in, and you realize that it's deeper than just me. It's deeper than just me. You hear, I mean, you watch all these positive seminars, these fake woke people who trying to tell you you can change your course of life. You could you're there's a secret. There's the law of attraction. Whatever you think in your mind, you can attract. And you wonder what the hell. What you think in your mind you can attract? Are we like magnets or something? We could just attract things to us? Or are we living in a world that is just evil and it's just the reality of what we have to face is certain people are not gonna be some people are not wanted by others. Certain people are rejected, some people are looked on, and it has nothing to do with how highly you think of yourself. It's really the environment you're raised in. Some people are born in very broken homes, man. Did any of that came from positive thinking? Did any of that came from the law of attraction? Did you ask to be either physically and emotionally abused by your parents, being isolated, being alienated, being treated unfairly, not having certain access to certain resources that you need to succeed? Like certain people are born in these type of very broken homes, very destructive families where they know anything. And you tell me this is a result of who they are, this is a result of them and how they think, and it's not about the environment that they're raised in. That's why I can't, I don't rock with this whole fake woke movement that's going on, because a lot of times what you're dealing with is certain situations that are outside of your control. Like I said, you can't control what family you're born into. You can't control your height. You can't control what race you are. You can't control your ethnicity. You can't control your personality. Certain times you're born and just the way you are, your personality. You know how people like to say, "Oh, you need to be more outgoing. You need to put yourself out there more." And a lot of times, it just the person you are, and deep down inside, you're just you're just born a certain way. Your personality is drawn to certain groups of people, and certain people you're not meant to be with because you do not align with them. Your aura does not align with them. Your energy does not align with them, and it's better off that you just avoid those type of people, because what they will do is just bring your energy down, or they'll try to put you down as a person because you don't fit their mold of what they want in you. So it's not everyone that you should be friends with. A lot of times people will try to act like they're your friend, and then when you least expect it, they stab you in your back. So this is another thing I can't stand with fake woke people, is that they gaslight you and they make you think that, oh, people out here are friendly and nice, and they are it's just you that's not doing enough to make something is not right. You need to avoid this person. And when you always get this vibe, some people, you gotta listen to that inner voice. You get that voice that tells you, oh, something is off about this person, because you got a lot of people that just they're evil. A lot of times you come across people and they look at you and they see you as a certain as like no good. They look down on you. They think negatively of you, and they may smile right in your face and you don't even know it, because you can't really tell what people are thinking deep down inside in their inner being. That's why you gotta really get to know people before you decide to fully commit to them, and that's what the fake woke people won't tell you. They won't tell you, you got to get to know people before you decide to commit to them. They won't tell you, oh, not everyone you meet or you come across with are going to be friendly people. They'll tell you, oh, we need to just be positive. You will attract the right people in your life, and put yourself out there and just talk to people. And that's not the world we live in, man. We live in a very evil world. Like it's not a friendly place. It's very cold, man. If you don't meet certain requirements that people want from you, they're not gonna want to interact with you. They're not gonna want to socialize with you. If they feel anyway that you're socially awkward, I hate that term, man, because that term is used to the what it used to do, what it's used as a way to discredit people who may think, yeah, who think differently, who see things from a different point of view, or might not necessarily fit into the social norms of what the group is. So it really is used to shame certain groups of people. But yeah, in the sense of how you interact with people and how you meet people, a lot of times it's really based off of how people judge you, and it's not really about who you are as a person, your character. Because if we live in a perfect world, people will have friends, people will not feel lonely, people will not feel depressed, and people will live a life of abundance. But as we've seen, this is a lot of people are lonely, a lot of people are sad, and a lot of people are not happy, and even people who are in relationship, they're not happy with themselves, they're miserable. So that tells you there's a lot more to it than just how you think and how you carry yourself. I mean, a lot of times you could think highly of yourself, and you come across somebody who don't even look at you that way, who don't even see the potential in you, and even if you may think some certain ways about yourself, they look down on you and see you a certain way. It's just like it's not you that's the problem, it's them. And that's one thing also I can't stand with the fake woke community or the agenda that's going on. It's like they make you think that the problem, whatever you're dealing with, is you. Like you're the cause of every problem you're going through. It's like you are the person to be blamed for why you can't find a good job. Sometimes you applying for jobs and people just don't want to hire you because they are judging you for whatever reason. They're being prejudiced towards you, or you don't abide by certain policies like the vaccine mandate. It's not really about who you are as a person and how good you are and if you're the best fit for that job. It's certain things that you just can't control. You can't control how people think about you. You can't control what policies are written in law, whatever whatever process or whatever factors are set in place that you have no say in, you know? So there's certain parameters that you can't control. So it really has nothing to do with how you think about yourself. It has nothing to do with how positive you are as a person. So I live in a reality, man. I don't live in a fantasy world, and that's why I said I can't stand these fake woke people, man. These people will tell you, all you gotta do is think positive. You just gotta think highly of yourself. You know, the reason why you're having a hard time, you know, making friends or having a job or living a life of abundance is because you're not putting yourself out there. You're not doing this. You're not. It's all about you. And I'm like, wait. A lot of times it's not even about the person. It's about the people they're interact with. It's the environment they're raising. What about that? They don't want to address those issues. But I guess you know I finished my video. I think I'll make I'm gonna make I wrote a poem. I wrote it. I'm gonna present it on this channel very soon. I'm almost done with it, but be on the lookout for that. And anyways, thank you for watching, and like and subscribe. Donate to my Cash App, $sign being resilient. Thank you and have a great one. Bye for now.